ATMs are used around the world millions of times every day, touching keypads, handling cash. It's now taken on a new meaning, and that has forced the industry to adopt some new safety guidelines that could change the way you get your money. NBC4 I-Team's consumer investigator, there he is, Randy Mack, joins us live right now. Randy?
Yeah, Chuck, think about it for a second. The science tells us that COVID-19 can exist on surfaces, and what gets touched more than, other than gas pumps and doorways, what do you actually touch more than the surfaces of ATM? Lots of people wind up doing that, and the cash that's inside of them.
Let's face it, ATMs can be filthy, grimy, sticky germ centers. And that was long before anyone ever heard of COVID-19. The pandemic is forcing the ATM industry to address health concerns by limiting how often you have to touch an ATM keypad, using the technology of smartphones and banking apps to start your transaction.
You can just fire up the app on your phone, maybe you get a QR code, maybe it's a text, and then by the time you get to the ATM, you scan it or you enter the text. Now, it doesn't remove all touching.
But it eliminates most of it. Bank of America is one of a handful of banks nationally already using the technology, where you plug in the transaction on your phone and scan it at the ATM. No debit card and limited touching. Another technology upgrade at some ATMs is the use of live virtual tellers.
More of something that's available to smaller bank customers, more of that community bank or that credit union.
It works just like FaceTime or Zoom, only you're standing at an ATM talking to a live teller on screen. Wisniewski says the most advanced contactless banking is occurring in Europe, where customers can sign up for facial recognition, start a transaction on your smartphone, and when you get to the ATM, all you have to do is stand and wait for your cash.
It does remove the touching. You just have a face scan to authenticate you are who you say you are to get your money out.
Wisniewski says there are still a lot of skeptics regarding the security of facial recognition, but expect to see more banks utilizing phone apps to limit contact with ATM keypads in the near future.
There's an ATM association that has formed a committee and for the last several years has been working on a model for using more of your mobile phone instead of the debit card and less of the touching, and that's supposed to hit by year end.
Okay. Now, if your bank does have a smartphone app, ask them if it can be used in conjunction with the ATM. That might limit your touching of that ATM to just putting in your PIN number. And also, as far as the cash that goes inside, I'm told that banks have been quarantining the money, meaning that when they get money in, they're keeping it in a safe place for up to 14 days before they load it into an ATM. That alleviates any surface contamination that might exist on the bills that ATM is going to be kicking out to you. Reporting live in Chino Hills, I'm Randy Mack for NBC4 News.
And it is interesting how the pandemic is speeding up technology, even in the banking industry. Thank you for that, Randy.